Okay, you're good to go.
Alrighty. Morning, everybody. All right, so I love Mondays. This is a fresh everything. So if you did not set a goal last week, let's set intentional goals this week. So what I did this morning was, I'm just going to kind of walk you. I woke up, I ate the frog, which for me means do what I want to do least right away. So I got my laundry done. I got the RV cleaned up. I got my yoga in, did my 3 steps, everything. I laid out my schedule for the week for my personal life and my work life. Cause I have 2 separate planners. One just tells me appointments and, life group with my church, things like that are on one planner. And the other one is my work planner. So I wanted to walk you through kind of how I set that up because I had some questions in the messages of content and how to set it up. Someone just asked if it started. Yes, hop on. So send this if you can in the chats. So what I did was I started with this morning and I went through my Monday. And so I do Monday mindset every single time. There's just one thing that I want people to be able to wake up and read something that's going to empower them for Monday, because a lot of people are stuck in a slump or they're dreading their Mondays. I want to help people feel the exact opposite and feel like it's a new opportunity this week. I write down all of our work with me Zooms. So all of the times I have in the planners, I write down payday. I write down, let's see here, our opportunity event. I write down the newbie training on Thursdays. I do fun things like Fun Fact Friday, Tipful Tuesday, stuff like that. So I have auto ship customers that I always remind them 2 days before the auto ships. So I always write down question mark auto ship customers, because for me, I just want them to be aware that it's going to come out. People really appreciate it. Most of the time they keep it. Sometimes they don't. And then setting my goals. So last week I did not hit either one of my weekly goals. So a big thing that I did was I came together at the end of the week, and right here in my planner, it says small victories. So at the end of the week, my 2 goals, marinate, I'll still be proud of the week. And I highly encourage you to do that and to not be so hard on yourself, because I've been in that position where I'm so hard on myself. Oh gosh, connection is unstable. Of course it is, because this Wi-Fi is jank. So anyways, that's my weekly goal is samples this week, because I got none out last week, and that to me is a problem, because this needs to be in people's bodies, and there is some way that I'm not presenting it. And so I'm going to work on getting samples out this week, maybe a giveaway, maybe like end of the summer giveaway or something fun. I do it with seasons and holidays. And then I also just got a round of shakes in, so now I have more flavor options. And I'm also going to go in and watch sample videos on the Hustle Thrive Tribe. So one thing that I want y'all to remember is something that you might be stuck on, or maybe your goal this week, you can go type that into the Hustle Thrive Tribe, and there's probably going to be about 5 to 7 videos on it. So don't forget that we have that resource. So that's what I'm going to do. My monthly goal is to help those that are on the mission to 4K, obviously, to get that $1,000 in credit, and then 12K to grow business women. I'm really I'm trying to focus more on growing business women. Does that make sense? So kind of not, I've kind of been everywhere lately, but I'm really focusing in. And then I'm playing around with Calendly still, which is an app that I can welcome potentials into one-on-one Zooms. I can welcome 3-ways. I can welcome one-on-ones with my team. So I'm playing around with the Calendly app. I also have that we still have that 600,000 giveaway, to not forget the promo that's going on with those fully paid 40 cars in someone's driveway. And then the $1,000 in credits to still tell my audience about. And then I plan to finish my book, Leaders Eat Last, and to take nuggets away from those. So what I do is I just plan that out, because for me, if it's not written down, it doesn't exist. And I have nothing to look back on when the week gets crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this is what I was going to do. And then I have content from this morning as I was reading my book, Leaders Eat Last, because that was part of my self-development this morning. I sat there and I was like, the sun was shining, the birds were chirping, my dogs were asleep on me, and I was like, this is not how my Monday mornings used to look. My Monday mornings used to be something that I dread. I didn't even want to get out of bed. I was so unhappy with my job. I would go to work. I would rush through. I wouldn't eat breakfast. I wouldn't even get lunch. Most of the time, I couldn't even pee. I didn't even have time at work. Like, it was always someone else's schedule. It was always a phone call late at night telling me that I didn't have a staff member the next day because I was a manager. So, like, everything falls on you when it's your office. And I just sat there and I was like, wow, I am so grateful that I can sit here in this reality now. Like, this is now my reality, and I get to give this to somebody else. So I wrote the content. Um, Em, are the dogs bugging you? You said shoo shoo. So anyways, my content today came from that. And so that's what I'm going to post on, is how I am that my Monday morning, like me setting my schedule, quiet time with my dogs, just hanging out. Cause one day those aren't going to be dogs, they're going to be my kids. And I don't want to miss those moments. And now I have that. So anyways, that's where my content comes from. Sometimes I had someone ask in the group chat whether I prep my content for the week. And my answer is sometimes. It depends on if I'm in a good day. A lot of stuff is coming to my mind. I will literally write, pause, you can't see that because it's so bright. I will write down in my notes those chunks of content that I want to do. And then, oh yeah, I need to pull up the chat. I'm sorry. So what I have is just these chunks, right? And I know that I took some pictures when I looked nice last week because, like I said, I look homeless most days, but I took some pictures and I just have those little bits and pieces that I'll put together later in the week or on a day that it feels right. Today, I know what I'm going to do. And I feel like if I were to just put something out there because I know I need to post, I don't really get anything back. And that's what I have felt is like, I would rather not post anything if it's kind of half-assed than just throwing it out there, because I feel as though people feel that. Like, the energy that I give towards a post is the energy I get back. And that's with my stories and stuff too. If I know I need to get something out there and I just throw it up and I don't put intention into it, I don't get much back. It's like a universal cosmic thing, I feel, that people just know. And so anyways, all right, starting with any more questions also on Monday schedule setting, you can throw them in there. But let's go on to Facebook. I have not interacted whatsoever this morning because I'm going to try really hard not to touch my phone as much in the morning. I usually get up at like 6 and I'm on it and I'm going to town on my phone, and I'm trying really hard not to do that anymore. So one thing, just get this work with me up, show our community as always, and then I'm going to go into birthdays on Facebook. If you've already done birthdays, just go into your stories, and I'm going to mute myself. So 5 minutes, birthdays, and then stories. All right, let's finish up in stories and then I'm going to go to my most recent. I had some thrivers that I had to mute that are new friends. I had some really good interaction of people with just random things. And then I had some people I needed to go see who they were and whether we needed to stay friends or not. So that's what I just did on my stories. Now I'm going to go down to the three lines and click most recent. And what this normally does for me is it allows me to hide ads and rake through people that the algorithm don't put in front of your face. So that's what most recent is really nice, that some, because the algorithm likes to do its own thing and I try to figure it out, but it is what it is. But this is going to pull new people up. And so like I'm seeing people that I forgot I was even friends with on Facebook. There's a lot going on in my hometown. My dad's a farmer, and 40% of the crops in Iowa were wiped out from this derecho that just went through. And there's thousands without power. So this week, I'm going to work hard on donations for my home state because it is devastating and my farm looks like an absolute disaster. And no, that's not part of the business, but our platform allows us to do this kind of stuff. So I'm going to try and use it to the best of my ability. But let's spend 5 minutes in our posts and interacting. And also in this time, I'm going to go give people love that gave love on my posts. Because, like we say before, if you don't feel people engaging with you, are you engaging with them? Like, what are you giving someone else to make them want to give you love back? So, I'm going to go do that as well. as we're interacting on posts and giving people love, one thing that I forgot to mention is just making sure that you've got your 3 steps this morning. I just did my capsules and said powering up and made it look like lightning bolts, like energy. Cause I love, like on Mondays, it's out of the norm for someone to be excited about their morning. So I like showing that I'm feeling, you know, pow pow. I don't really know. I don't know what that means. But one thing, just make sure it's on there, make sure our team is on there. And I forgot to mention that. And then anything else, like I said, I like to put up a Monday mindset thing. You can do whatever you want. All right, let's hop on over to groups. Um, this is one thing that I have to clean out every once in a while because I don't realize how many I'm a part of. But also, let's interact. So let's go find a question in one of our groups that someone needs us to answer. So let's do one of those. Let's post in one of them and then clean out. Let's do those 3 things right now.
Go inside.
All right, so finish up in groups and then let's head on over to Instagram. All right, so what I'm going to start with on Instagram right now is just the stories. I scroll to see like where I stopped interacting yesterday. I'm going to go more towards the back, start interacting on those. And then I'm going to answer my inbox, and let's spend 5 minutes doing those two things. Kayla, we did everything on Facebook already, and we are just on our Instagram stories, starting on there, and then answering any inbox also on Instagram. All right, so let's finish up in stories right now. Give me just a second. I'm going to go to my last post, and I'm going to go to the hashtags, and I can't remember. It was one of my hashtags, but I found a lot of people I connected with, because some days, I'll be honest, growing my network is harder. On some days, I just don't find the people as much as I do other days. But there was this specific hashtag on my last post that I was really relating to a lot of people. So I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to start following. I'm going to follow 5 people right now as we're on here. 5 intentional people. You can do whatever number you want, but for me, that's what I'm going to do today. And then on each IPA round that I do today, it's going to be 5. So that'll probably get me, because I'm going to do 3 rounds, so about 15 people. All right, so I followed some new people, interacted on their posts and stories, and then I'm going to go to actual posts right now, which for me, I'm going to go to my following. I'm going to go to my least interacted with. I like checking up on this just because this is some place where either I want to re-interact with people or I want to just not, be friends on social media anymore. So I'm going to go to my least interacted with for 5 minutes. I'm going to either interact with those people and reconnect or just let them go. And if you want to see if they're following you, you click on following on their page. And if your name is not the first one, then they are not following you. Sarah, it depends. If I literally couldn't even tell you their name or like who they are or anything like that, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I had to have followed them for a reason. So I go and I creep on their stuff and I'm like, is this someone I want to see every day? Because the thing to ask yourself is not like, who do you want to follow you back, but who do you want to see every day? Like, who do you want to interact with? Who vibes with you? That kind of, who makes it fun for you to come on your social media? Who do you want to weed out? Right? Because this is where we work from. So like, I don't want to be putting crap in front of my face that I don't want to see. So what I'll do is I might interact with them, and then in a couple days, if they haven't been back, I'll rake through and I'll unfollow them. But also people that I know were once following me, and once I started this, unfollowed me, and they've known me for a very long time. Those are usually people that I will just unfollow as well, because they unfollowed me for a reason. If I know that we were following each other at a certain point. So it kind of depends whether I do or don't, if that makes sense. So let's finish up with that. And then I'm going to go to posts. Let's do that for 5 minutes. So let's finish with the least interacted with. I'm going to go on my homepage and do some of those. Then we'll move on to the next thing. I have such a small following because I had been off social media. Right. And that just takes time to build, Crystal. And it's not necessarily the number. It's not quantity, it's quality. So like, I mean, Em and I have talked before on our insights and stuff, which we're going to go look at after we interact with chats. It's the amount of people that you can impact and hit. Like, there was one post that I had that I think it had almost 9,000 insights, and it was a stupid hippie post. Like, there was absolutely no point in the post. I just was holding a flower with a bandana on in my grass. Freaking 9,000 insights. Are you kidding me? I have like 1,400 followers. I don't have many. So, I mean, social media is so bizarre because you just don't know who's looking at your page. So just make it quality over quantity is all I can tell you, and continue growing your network. On Facebook, Alicia, you're asking, I don't know about Facebook, but on Instagram, if you, hang on, I'm going to show you real quick. That's too bright. Okay, so these are, if you're friends on Facebook, you'll see each other. Yeah, Facebook is one of those things where it'll tell you need to request them, or like friend requests. It'll tell you in that blue strip whether you're friends or not. But on Instagram, go to that person. So I'm on someone's stuff right now, and I'm going to go to where it says following, and I'm at the top. That's me. So I know, because I'm the top person on her following, that we follow each other. She's following me as well. So that's just the way you tell on Instagram. If you decline their friend request, if you leave people as friends on Facebook, if you leave them just, what do you call it, in the friend box where you haven't accepted or anything, they will go into your following. Like, they will automatically go into where they can follow you. It'll drop into that. So that's what I like to do. I don't really friend people on Facebook, because the second I say accept, apparently 20 other people come into my, I don't know if anyone knows why that happens, but the second I accept one person that I don't really know, it like blows me up with more friends. So I just allow them to fall into the category of following me instead of actually being friends on Facebook. So what I'm going to do now is go to my insights, because I have a creator account. I don't decline them, Amanda. I don't know if it does anyone know if it makes it so they can't follow you if you decline them on Facebook?
I think if you decline it, I think they're still following you. I could be wrong, but I have it set to where, because I'm at my max, so if somebody friend requests me, they are automatically following me whether I accept or not. So like for you guys or like other thrivers in the company, because I can't accept more friends, that still allows you to see it. And I'm pretty sure even if I decline, I don't think it then unfollows. Like they don't unfollow you. I think if they went to your page, it would say add friend and following, but I could be totally wrong. What I have learned is that it is good for the algorithm to clean out like your friends thing. So like once a week, I'll go through and like either decline or accept if I have room. And then I do notice after that, that's then when I get another influx of friend requests. So I don't know how they do that with the algorithm, but I find that when I clear it out, that normally that's when you decline on Facebook, it will have them unfollow you. You can see it on your follow list. Oh,
Okay.
so then maybe that's why people say like, just follow, don't friend. You know what I mean? So like if you're wanting to follow somebody's page or they're wanting to follow yours, like they just hit follow and not friend request. I don't know. There's not a science to it. Just accept people you want and then decline
Oh.
them. Don't want. That's
Okay.
that's my
Yeah. So for your account, also, like I said, insights. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that, but with a business account and with a creator account on Instagram, you can see your demographics. You can see the activity, the audience. You can see the time of everything when it spikes. You can see the locations of where those people are coming from. So like my hometown is blown out of the water. Like that's where most of my interaction is from. And then it's Columbia, which is the big city I'm right by, Wichita, because I lived in Wichita, and then I have Des Moines and Atlanta. So those are my main cities. I have my age range is 25 to 34. That is the age range that I hit. So I've got gender, it's 62% women, 38% men. And then it has the times a day that most people are interacting. So on Mondays, it looks like it spikes at 6 p.m. Makes sense. People are home from work. So what I'm going to try to make sure I do is do an IPA round around 5 or 6, right? Like I don't want to miss early birds, but I don't want to miss my night people as well. I am off of my phone at nighttime to be with my husband because he works a bajillion hours in a day and he's not usually here. So I don't like doing a round of IPAs late at night. That's just, and maybe I'm missing something there, but truly for me, I need that time with him. I only get about 2 hours of solid time with him a night. So I'm not going to spend it on my phone. If you don't originally have a creator account, can you switch it over? Oh yeah, just click creator. That's what I did. You can just click it. You don't have to make a whole new account. So I'm just looking at my insights right now. And if you guys don't have it, don't worry about it. It tells you how many accounts you reach. And on your posts, like what I was telling you, I can go to view insights and I can see how many accounts I reached, and I can see how many are from hashtags and how many weren't following me. Like this one says with my God one. And most of the time with my faith stuff, honestly, I don't get as much interaction if I were to put up something else. But me, which I still see as a win. I reached 3% of that don't exist on my page. I'm still impacting somebody. Now, do I want it to be more? Of course, but it just shows me from my hashtags and the impressions, how many people saved it, stuff like that. So all I wanted to do was go look at my insights to see today for my Monday, when the best time would be, the locations to tag it in, tag. I can't say tag and beg. I get made fun of all the time in the South. I say popped, so that apparently. Looking at my content. Now, one thing I want you guys to do is to look through your stories right now and see what your audience is seeing. So this is how I normally start my days, just looking at what my audience is going to see. So I'm raking through mine, and I have a lot of speaking that I did yesterday morning because my church, my life group for church, did something very sweet for me because I'm losing my mind in this RV. Like I'm mental in this RV right now. It's not a good time for Jordan. So they did something very sweet for me. I posted about it. And then from there, it was kind of just like our work with me and then my morning stuff. So I don't have much on there. It's about to fall off. So I know I can go face to face today. I love going face to face with my audience. Like I feel like my personality gets to just be expressed. I get to speak to people. So I know that my video is about to fall off. So I will do a face to face sometime today. After we get off here, I'm going to type out my content that I told you about for Mondays, and I'm going to post a picture on Facebook. What I'm trying to do recently is not post the same thing on both platforms and see how it works. So like one day I'll post on Facebook, and I might take that post and go over on the next couple of days and put it on my Instagram. And then I might post something on Instagram, but I'm not going to post it on Facebook yet. And I'm just going to see how that works. That's a very new thing that I'm trying. Because what I noticed is I don't get as much interaction if I post it on both platforms. Maybe people are just worn out. They've seen it before. You know, I don't know. But for me, I'm just trying it. It's new. So that is good. We're good on everything. One thing I also wanted to touch on. Today, I'm going to check in really hard. I feel as though I have not spoken individually to my customers in a long time. And I love my relationship with my customers. And so I'm going to rake through my cloud office, and I'm just going to check in on people, whether it's just a wellness check, whether it's me looking at their last order, seeing if maybe they need more, maybe they tried a new product last month and I want to see how they like that new product, if they're incorporating it. So today I'm going to dig into my customer relationships. And then I'm also going to dig into my team and just see what their goals are for the week. I say this because Lindsay made a good point on one of the Zooms last week, and she said, your vision for your team might not be their vision for their life. So like you need to make sure, because I'm like a very aggressive person, and I'm very much so like, yes, everybody go for the top. Like, let's go. Because I know I'm running to bring my husband home. I know what I'm running for, and that's a lot different than someone that just wants free product, right? And so what I'm going to do is check in on my team and see where they're at and what they're wanting, because automatically when the 4K $1,000 credits came out, I tagged my whole entire team and like was so excited. But then I sat there and I was like, maybe they didn't want that. Maybe I just overwhelmed them, and that's not something that they were running towards. Maybe I just scared them away. So what I'm going to do is check in hard with my customers and our relationships. I'm going to check in on my team and their goals and just see where they're at. Post that post. I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm honestly not going to touch my phone. I'm going to get better at unplugging during the day so that I don't feel super overwhelmed, because I do this full time. I need to go to the grocery store. So I'm going to unplug. I'm going to leave my phone. I'm going to go do my thing, go do life. I will come back and do another round later. And then watch those sample videos. So throughout today, I'm just going to be listening to those sample videos because I need to get samples out, plain and simple. So either I need to come up with a creative way or just share it in a different way. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Is that good? Did we cover most of everything? Okay, I feel like we just covered 1,000 things. Time block new thing. And M had me, she said, Linda, unplug from your phone. What do you do? So I needed to learn my boundaries, and I'm learning them as we go. We're good.
Are we done? Yes. Okay. I just wanted to share one thing. Oh no, I'm losing my voice. And I'm going to start implementing this on Work With Me because I think it's really important. Which you don't have to if you don't want to, but when I do the one on Thursday, I'm going to do this where I want people to share like something they got from their self-development that morning, or something that, I don't know. I feel like when I listen to a podcast or I read a book, I always have my notes open on my phone, because I'm somebody where if I don't write something down, like I listen for absolutely no reason because it's not there anymore. Who knows where it went? I don't know. So I like to have my notes open when I'm like walking and stuff like that so that I can write stuff down. So if you ever have like a tidbit you want to share, always share it, because if it gave you an aha moment or it fired you up or it inspired you in some way, I'm sure it can absolutely do that for somebody else. But I was listening to, I listened to 2 podcasts this morning. Let me pull them up. I listened to Gary Vee's newest one, and I like him because I feel like he just like doesn't give a shit and he says whatever he wants, and I love that. What was the one I listened to from him? It was him being interviewed by somebody, but that one was really good. And then I listened to the new one from Gold Digger, The Secret to Selling with Certainty in Uncertain Times. And that one was really good. But Gary Vee said something that I wrote down, because the guy that was interviewing him said, you know, I feel like so many people don't achieve their dreams, not because they're not capable, not because they don't have the right resources, you know, not because they can't do it, but because they either get burnt out, discouraged, tired. It's not, you know, all the reasons that we talk about all the time. So the guy was asking him, like, how do you stay on? Like, how do you still wake up every day wanting what you want, knowing you can do it, like never faltering and showing up for your dreams? And he said something which is so simple, and it's what we talk about all the time. But he said, he's like, I'm grateful. And he's like, that fuels every single thing I do. He said, it's not just the hustle. It's not that I'm motivated all the time. It's not that I love to be disciplined. He said, I'm just so grateful that I even have the opportunities that I do, whether I've achieved what I wanted to achieve or not. He said, the fact that we have these opportunities in front of us, how can we not be so grateful to show up 100% for them? Like, take it back 20 years, 10 years, what we're doing, it wasn't a thing like this. You know what I mean? Unless you wanted to pack up, you know, your Mary Kay cosmetics or the vacuums and go door to door, like we didn't have this opportunity. And him saying that just really hit me, like, how lucky are we that you get the chance to show up and do this, to fight for your dreams? Like, imagine if you sat, you know, your grandma down and said, you know, like, imagine if, you know, 60 years ago, you could have worked to like bring your husband home from his job. She would have been like, I'm sorry, what? You know what I mean? Like, that it didn't used to be a thing, what we work for. And he said, every single day, I'm fueled by gratitude, not for what I have or for what I've accomplished, but the fact that I can show up and do this. He said that I can provide free content for people, that I can inspire somebody, that I can help somebody make an income on their phone. He was like, how grateful should we be that this is even an option? So I want to share that because I think it was really important that we sometimes get trapped in the, well, I haven't achieved it yet, or I'm not there yet. So you're frustrated and flustered and burnt out, and you don't give that 100%, but like wake up every day with that gratitude, like we talk about, and say, how grateful am I that like I have the chance to pick up my phone and do this. Like, the fact that network marketing is even a thing, like how freaking cool is that? So I like the way he spun that and said that, just to be grateful that you even have the opportunity in the beginning, even if you're not where you want to be. And he said that that's what encourages him every single morning to show up, even on the days that he doesn't want to. So you can go, Jordan. Oh, you're frozen. Hold on.
Last night's Sunday training. Oh, because I'm train trash. There, so on RFE Wi-Fi, I couldn't record it, so it was on my phone. But the tips that I wanted to help y'all with that I think out very well is that we fail because we're so scared to fail that we never actually take the first step. That was one thing that I touched on, was that we literally are failing because we're so scared of failure that we never even move in our business. We never even get started. And the next thing was that sometimes we don't know what the next level is until we fail at the level that we're at. So don't feel like you have to be at a certain point, because sometimes you just don't know what that next level is that you need to get to until we fail at it and fail at the one that we're at. And that's okay, because confidence is built within the sucking. So I want to normalize the fact that we just don't know what that, like, I didn't know what my next level was, but I had to grow through a lot this month. I'm in the hardest month of my entire Lavelle time of 16 months. This August is the hardest month I've ever had. Ever. And it is the hardest to show up for me, like to show up for my business every single day. But I'm doing it because I learned what the next level is. So now I'm implementing things to see how that goes. Does that make sense? So just wanted to normalize that for you guys. Set your goals. Let's stay intentional. Write them down. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. So let's get them written down and stay on track this week. Okay.